What's up, good business leader? Now, if you have a team in the double digits, there's a very good chance that you are leaking 6 figures a year, maybe more, and you don't even know it yet. Most leaders think that bad hires are just the cost of doing business. I know I used to think that until I ran the math. So this micro training, I'm just going to walk you through exactly how I figured out the real cost and how I turned that $1 million problem. Well, I eliminated that $1 million problem that I didn't even know I had. So I used to have good culture. And that was when I was looking at a team of 20 plus, and I had this belief too that bad hires are just the cost of doing business. And then one day, after it felt like a groundhog day of hiring and misfitting this particular role, I looked at it, I Googled it, and it said that the cost of a bad hire is 30% of their first year's salary. But is it really? It felt like it must have been more than that. So I ran the numbers and I want to share those with you. So this was a 120K salary role, and we break down the cost the following way, right? The first is the recruitment. Now this is conservative. This is reward fee, external agency, and our time interviewing. And we've paid more for roles that are lesser than this. Right, so that's the first bit. The second is the actual trial period, the probationary period, paying for that, which we did have hope that this person would work out, and we were invested in that. But it didn't, so that's 30K. Then, because underperformers require way more supervising by management, it ate up a lot of the manager's time, mine and another. So we look at that as being 15% of the management salary for that period, right? For the direct management salary there. Then the next part was the productivity drop for that person's direct to team members. They had to pick up the slack for this underperformance. So we calculate that at 15% of their direct salary. That ran a total of $73,000 lost, wasted in 90 days, and we had to go again. Right? For us, that equates to 63% of that person's annual salary lost in 90 days. And that doesn't even count the cost of the team-wide morale decrease, the lost opportunity cost for everyone tied up working to support that person, and also the negative impact on the client because of the poor service. Now, when I shared that story recently on LinkedIn, one of my contacts trumped me and said, well, you know what? My last bad hire cost me $10 million. So, yes, there is a direct hard cost, but then it goes way more than that with the additional costs. So what this taught me is to never hire based on who I hope somebody will become. The same is a sound advice for marriage as well. Hope is not a plan. So if you've ever made a bad hire before, and you've never calculated the cost, well, we've got this worksheet for you in the workbook here. And I'll just run through one of our recent bad hires. Oh, not recent, but our most recent, which was a while ago now, years ago now. And let's say this salary was, so you can do this with me, with this worksheet, 70,000 salary. One bad hire. The loss, I'm going to pick 73% because I know that there's intangibles. It's either you're looking at the base cost, 63%, 73%, which is some morale drop or some decrease there, or you can go more, right, if you know it will cost you more. So 73% of 70,000 is 51,100. Oh, actually, I did that wrong. Follow the instructions. I'm going to pick the 73%, which is 51,100. Now, the thing is, either you can look retrospectively or go, if we don't solve this problem and we're going to get one more a year over the next 10 years, that's going to be a $511,000 problem to solve, right? Worth solving? I hope so. Right? So calculate it for whatever it is for you. Now, the reality is that is an unnecessary expense. You don't have to pay that if you get your culture code right. If you get this so that you can hire for it and defend it, right? That's the key. Now, bad hires don't just cost that money, that $500,000 or $1 million if you retrospectively calculate it. They also impact the engagement of your superstars, because here's the truth: the lowest standard you're willing to accept is your standard. Doesn't matter what's on the wall. If you hold this, that you say this, what you preach, but what you accept is the standard. Now, the current stats from Gallup tell us that 79% of employees are disengaged. 8 out of 10, but not your team, right? Now, well, that's the downside. Let's look at the upside. So the gap between disengaged team members and engaged team members is enormous. This is right. This is, for a mid-level role, 1,200% more productive, more output, 12 times the output. So same hours, same salary, right? And I liken it to, if you cook a meal or somebody that loves you cook the meals, you can taste the love. When somebody loves the organization and the work, you can taste the love in the work. And it's a very different experience. Creative and discretionary energy unleashed. But let's flip it. Let's say that employee is disengaged. Now you're tapping into only, the inverse of this is 8% of that role's true potential, yet you're paying for 92% of the performance that never shows up. That makes sense? You're wasting a lot of money because of the disengagement, and disengagement is driven by disengaged people. What do you want from your team? All right. Now this is just one small part of our electromagnetic team framework. It does live in our where are you? Does live here in our behavior blueprint, in our engage. This is about setting and holding the standards so your team, so you can hire to fit and you can hold that standard, so your team know how to lovingly call each other out on their shit, so you can have this standard, right? So what gets lived, not just what gets printed on the poster. Now, if this model that we've gone through today, this cost model, this engaged, disengaged, hit home, download the workbook, download it. In there you'll find links to other short micro trainings that complement this with other real and related issues to build a high performance self-led team. Now also, if you do feel that you've had a bit of an aha moment here and you want to transform your team from the inside out with some help, right? It all starts with a free 10-minute planning call. There's no pitch, there's no pressure, just a real conversation about where you are right now and where you'd like to go and how we might help you get there if we're a fit. So download the guide, download the workbook, and the link in there is to book a call. So thank you. Until next time, be unapologetically awesome. Bye for now.